is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I have 4 questions, so I'm going to try to get through them rather quickly. My first question is on the budget. The proposed budget has military spending under inflation, which is going to necessitate cuts to F-35 production, for example. So my first question is with the overall divest to invest, and I'll ask this to General Milley. I guess the follow-on questions to Secretary Austin. But we're going to reduce our aircraft inventory by 250 and add 75 aircraft. So basically for every 3 we're putting out, we're putting 1 in. And ships, we're reducing our ships by 24 and bringing in 9 ships, so a little better than 1 out of 3 replacement. Are we taking too much risk, General Milley?
I don't think we're taking too much risk relative to Russia and China, which is the focus of the NDS, focus of the budget. I recognize the numbers go down in both shipbuilding and in aircraft, but again, I want to focus folks' attention on the capability that is being bought versus just raw numbers. A lot of the aircraft that are coming out that are, for example, A-10s have very little utility relative to a high-end warfight against China, for example. They may be useful as a FMS article to give to other countries, but for our purposes relative to China, no. So, the other systems that are divesting are recouping the monies in order to invest in capabilities that will be much more useful in the future operating environment.
Thank you. I just worry about the amount that we're divesting, but I realize some of it's going to have to happen. Secretary Austin, when I talk to the Baltic countries, I'm the Baltics co-chair for the Security Caucus. They say the most important thing to them is a permanent U.S. presence, maybe air defense. They're not too dogmatic of what type of unit. But would you commit to at least considering a permanent presence in the Baltics?
I think you know that I've just recently met with 3 ministers of defense from the Baltic region and heard their concerns, and we'll stay focused on their concerns. I heard the same thing from them, that they really value a U.S. footprint. I will tell you, I will commit to you that we'll continue to work with NATO to assess what the requirements will be going forward, and we will be a part of that solution. And where appropriate, we will commit forces.
Thank you. A question concerning Ukraine. When I've worked with some of your leadership, as well as some of the Ukrainian parliamentarian members who came out to visit, we provided some very good capabilities to them. But there's one area that I keep hearing that they're lacking, and that's the ability to hit tanks and convoys behind the line of the fight. They have the materials at the line, and they have good air defenses, but to hit tanks 10, 20 miles back, and there's multiple weapons that could do that. Are we committed to helping fill that niche, Mr. Secretary?
We are, and there are a number of ways you can do that. Long-range fires, we're working hard. I'm personally working to ensure that we can get them as much as we possibly can. The use of UAVs have been very effective as well, so we'll continue that work.
What I hear is they have some, but not enough in that particular area of spectrum of warfare, so thank you. My final question is with Taiwan. Obviously, the day of an invasion, it's too late for deterrence. I think a strong, capable deterrence for Taiwan starts, well, hopefully 10 years ago, but clearly now after Ukraine. It seems to me they need anti-shipping missiles at a large quantity, also long-range air defense capabilities. What are we doing to make sure that deterrence is effective in Taiwan? Thank you.
Well, we continue to work to do what we've advertised, and that is to help Taiwan provide for its defense, help it defend itself. So, there are a number of things that we are looking at across the board.
When I've traveled out there, sometimes they're asking for weapons that look like our military, but it seems to me for them, they really do need the anti-amphibious capabilities and long-range air defense. Those 2 capabilities seem to be key to deterring China, and so I hope we're working hard in that way. But General Milley, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think those 2 systems are important. The other thing I think that's an important lesson to draw from Ukraine is a nation in arms. So if your opponent tries to invade you and every military-age man or woman is armed and they have a little bit of training, that can be a very effective use. And if it's a decentralized operation where there's local initiative with junior officers, et cetera. Taiwan is a very complex piece of terrain, lots of mountains, high-density urban areas in Taipei, There's a lot that the Taiwanese can do in terms
I
of
apologize.
concept.
Gentleman's time has expired. We'll have to move on to the next person. Mr. Keating is back with us and is recognized for 5 minutes.